6 months ago, Kamal Reddy was broke, lonely, and watching his life slip away in a modest Auckland flat. Now, it's October 2014. He's sitting on a leather couch in a luxury Wellington apartment, waiting to meet a man known only as Brooks. The deal is simple. Tell Brooks the truth, and all his problems could disappear. It started innocently enough in April 2014. Kamal, a middle-aged mechanic from Fiji, was struggling. He lost his job, his relationships had fallen apart, and the only family he leaned on was his uncle. One day, Kamal's sitting at home watching TV when he receives a phone call from an unknown number. It's a woman asking for her car to be fixed. She got his number from a friend and was told he was an honest, reliable mechanic. Kamal thought it was too random to be real, but mostly, he saw an opportunity. 2 weeks later, after finishing the job, the woman comes to pick up her car. She mentions she's parked another car nearby. If he helps deliver it to the owner, he'll be rewarded for his time. He picks up the car and drives it to a restaurant in Ellerslie, where he meets a man named Chris. Chris is a stern-looking man, commanding, but surprisingly well-mannered. He stares Kamal down and tells him to take a seat. He asks Kamal about himself, and Kamal says he's an out-of-work mechanic just looking to earn some cash. Chris smiles. He tells Kamal he has more work if he's interested. And just like that, Kamal thinks maybe his luck is finally turning. Not long after, Chris picks Kamal up in a sleek sedan and drives him to downtown Auckland. On the way, he casually mentions they're meeting someone named Tui, a gangster. Kamal's heart skips a beat. Why are they going to meet a gangster? But the car, the money, the opportunity keeps him silent. They pull into a parking lot and meet Tui. He's rough looking, gives Kamal the up and down, says almost nothing, and leads them to the car. Later, when Chris links up with Kamal, he tells him he kept his cool, got the job done, and now there'll be more work ahead. Kamal senses he's gaining Chris's respect. This feels like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and he is not about to let it slip. Shortly after, Chris and Kamal drive out to an industrial part of Auckland where they meet another man offloading stolen designer purses and wallets. It quickly becomes clear Chris's line of work is more than just debt collection. And when the company you keep are gangsters and men hauling stolen goods, Kamal realizes men like this don't just let you walk away. So he bites the bullet and helps Chris move the stolen goods to a storage unit. That night, Chris invites Kamal to dinner. They're drinking, laughing, having a good time. There's a real bond forming. Then there's a pause. Chris's tone changes. He reveals that as much as he calls the shots, he's actually part of a bigger criminal organization. Above him, there's just one person, the boss. And then he simply calls Brooks. The way Chris says the name Brooks makes him sound less like a person and more like a myth. Chris says Brooks values three things: trust, honesty, and loyalty. And now it's Kamal's turn to prove his worth. Little did he know what that would actually mean. More than a month later, Chris and Kamal drive to a central Auckland brothel to collect protection money. Kamal doesn't bat an eye. The kind of thing that would have terrified him months ago now feels like just another Tuesday. Another month passes, and Chris starts sending Kamal out on his own. Kamal feels emboldened. This is his chance to cement his loyalty to the organization and prove they were right to trust him. Chris is impressed, and so is Brooks. Chris pulls Kamal aside and says the organization is always looking for new members eager to impress, and he thinks Kamal has what it takes. Before he can even finish, Kamal is gushing. This is the acceptance and camaraderie he's been craving for years. Chris smirks and says they'll give him a trial period. If he keeps impressing, he'll meet Brooks and become a full-fledged member. On September 18, Chris and Kamal drive south to Rotorua. Chris explains they're meeting a hacker who's illegally acquired government data. Kamal asks what kind. Chris brushes it off. Nothing you need to worry about. They meet the hacker in a local park. Kamal hands over $500, takes a hard drive, gets back in the car, and drives away. Within moments, a police car pulls them over. Kamal's heart sinks. He has no idea what's on the hard drive, but he's sure it's enough to send them to prison. For the first time, he really questions what he's got himself into. As the officer approaches, Chris calmly tells him, "Don't worry, I'll handle this." The officer says their car is linked to several crimes and orders an immediate search. He finds the hard drive, confiscates it, and asks what's on it. Chris just shrugs and says, "Buggered if I know." When the officer walks back to his car with the hard drive, Kamal is sure it's over. Then Chris makes a phone call. A few minutes of waiting, and suddenly they're free to go. Kamal stares at Chris. Chris doesn't say much. But it's clear now, this organization's power isn't just criminal, it runs deep into the system itself. Not long after, Chris and Kamal drive north to Whangarei. They're meeting another criminal, not a gang member, more like a customer. He's wanted for aggravated robbery and is paying $30,000 for a new identity and the disposal of evidence. Kamal wonders, how do you make something like that just go away? First, they pay a cop for the exhibits from the crime. Then, they pay a crooked official for a new passport. Within days, a wanted man has a new life, and all the evidence is gone. To Kamal, it feels like magic happening right in front of him. By now, he knows this is bigger than him. This isn't just a criminal organization, it's an empire of influence, fear, and control. By October, Kamal has been working with the organization for 6 months. His life is unrecognizable. Then one day, he gets the call. It's time. Brooks wants to meet you. But Chris warns him, Brooks is a no-nonsense businessman. If there's anything in his past that can hurt the organization, now is the time to reveal it. Kamal is confused. What exactly does Brooks want to know? Chris and Kamal fly to Wellington and head to a lavish apartment. Before they go in, Chris talks again about Brooks' values: trust, loyalty, honesty. He takes a breath and tells Kamal he once skimmed money from the organization, but when he came clean, Brooks respected him even more. Inside, Brooks is waiting. He's not a looming cartoon villain. He's a composed businessman, calm, calculating, the last person you'd expect to be running a criminal empire. He and Kamal chat about all the work Kamal has done and how much he's enjoyed it. Brooks says he sees great potential in Kamal. Kamal relaxes. He's smiling ear to ear until Brooks' mood shifts. Brooks gives him an intense stare. He says, "I've heard rumblings about something in your past. Is there anything you want to tell me?" Kamal tries to brush it off. Oh, it was nothing. Brooks goes quiet, studying him. He doesn't raise his voice. He just makes one promise. If Kamal is honest, the organization will make his problem disappear forever. Kamal looks at Chris and says, "I'm telling you the truth, I don't know anything." Brooks gives nothing away. He says he needs time to think and sends them to lunch. At lunch, Chris tells Kamal that Brooks isn't buying his story. If he really wants to be part of the organization, he needs to come clean now. When they return to the apartment, Kamal's whole demeanor has changed. The smile is gone, his shoulders are slumped, his voice is flat. He's finally ready to tell the truth. So he takes a deep breath and tells Brooks about the night everything went wrong. The argument, the violence, the dark secret he's been hiding for almost a decade. Brooks listens, then quietly assures Kamal that everything will be handled. A new life awaits him, free from the past. Kamal thanks him. It's a relief to finally tell someone. Days later, Kamal and Chris sit in a fast food restaurant. Chris tells Kamal he's just going to the bathroom. Moments later, police swarm the table. Kamal is stunned. Other customers stare as officers surround him. He keeps insisting there's been a mistake and his friend Chris will clear everything up. Instead, one officer pulls out a device and presses play. It's Chris's voice. "Hi Kamal. Chris isn't my real name. I'm an undercover police officer. I've been working with you for months on the disappearance of Pakisa and Jojo." In an instant, Kamal's entire world collapses. Every job, every bond, every supposed crime, none of it was real. For 6 months, he had been the target of a Mr. Big operation, one of the most controversial undercover techniques in New Zealand's history. Kamal was the prime suspect in the murder and disappearance of his girlfriend Pakisa Yusuf and her 3-year-old daughter Jojo Kalim back in 2006. In June 2016, Kamal faced the Auckland High Court. The 6-month operation was laid out in detail along with his confession. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 21 years. A Mr. Big operation works like this. An undercover officer gains a suspect's trust, pulls them into staged criminal jobs, and introduces them to Mr. Big to extract a confession under the guise of loyalty and protection. Mr. Big in this instance being Brooks. The strategy is controversial and usually reserved for cold cases where police think they have the right person but no solid evidence. Supporters say these operations solve murders that would otherwise never be solved. Critics say they risk coercing people into confessions that might not be reliable. What do you think about the Mr. Big scheme? Is it justice or entrapment that goes way too far? Drop your answer in the comments, like if this story gripped you, and subscribe for more mysteries from Down Under After Dark.